there are a few changes to the rules and regulations this year. Of course, the first thing that you should do every year is check your unit to see what the season framework is. That can change every year. So this year, say if you hunt in Unit 32, that's a herd control unit. You can find that right in the centerfold, the middle pages of the regulations pamphlet. Then you just flip back to pages 18 to 24, find deer hunting season's herd control units, and everything that you need to know is right there. The gun season, archery, and muzzleloader seasons. New this year is a regulation that requires you to have a square foot of blaze orange on a ground blind when you're using it on DNR managed lands. And it's a safety regulation. The public has asked us to do that, and we thought it was a good idea. So this will be the first time for it. You will need blaze orange during the traditional 9-day season, also the December 4-day hunt, and of course any extra seasons if you are in a CWD zone. Also, don't forget that if you leave your blind in the field, if you go back for lunch or something, you do have to have your name or your customer identification number on the blind. And that's just like with a tree stand that you leave out during the day on public land. So it's the same rule applies there. On a dome type blind, you might be able to get away with just putting a blaze orange sweatshirt on top of it if it's something that can be seen from all around. But if you've got one of the square types of blinds, you'll need some orange on each side of the blind, and it has to be a foot square on each side. DNR has a regulation that requires you to remove your ground blind or your tree stand from public lands. You can't leave it out overnight, and that's really just a fairness issue. The public has said we don't want people reserving spots ahead of time. It's public land, and they think that it should be available on a first-come, first-served basis. Based on recommendations of the CWD Stakeholder Advisory Group, there are changes to the CWD Management Zone hunting regulations. So you'll want to be sure and look up your area if you hunt in CWD Management Zone. Seasons will be different this year. There will be some antlerless seasons, but the traditional 9-day season will be earn a buck like you're used to. One of the real big changes is that rifles will be allowed in this zone, most of the zone this year. And again, that's another Stakeholder Advisory Group recommendation that has worked well in parts of the zone in Dane County in the past. This year there are 56 herd control units and 35 earn a buck units. Also the CWD units are earn a buck. They're all located in southern Wisconsin. Just a heads up that starting next year there will be new carcass transportation rules for the CWD management zones. Starting next year you won't be able to take a carcass out of that zone until it's been processed. Well, the first thing you should do when you've killed a deer is put a tag on it. The rules say that you can't transport a deer or move it at all until it's been tagged. And as far as who can tag the deer, the person who is going to take possession of the deer is going to register it is the person who puts the tag on it. So in a legal group hunting situation, it might not always be the person who shot it, but otherwise it's the person who shot the deer is the one who should tag it. When you buy your license, you'll get a variety of carcass tags. You should check the regulations pamphlet, pages 25 through 27, to find out what you can use those tags for. It's printed clearly on the tags that this is your gun buck carcass tag or your antlerless deer carcass tag. And we've tried to simplify that in that respect so that there aren't any tags that can be either or right now. It's just as simple as can be, buck tag or antlerless tag. There are 5 units in the Central Forest that have herd control season framework this year. So you will be able to use free antlerless tags, but they do not have an October hunt. That's different. Now, next year they could have an October hunt if antlerless harvest isn't sufficient there, but for this year, no October hunt.